map and a crash report and building a bridge where there was no port.
Welcome to The Explainer. So, we got our hands on something pretty wild, a leaked lecture that was actually meant for aspiring cyber criminals. Today, we're going to peel back the curtain and deconstruct the art of online shopping fraud, using their own playbook as our guide.
Okay, so to really get how they operate, you first have to understand their core strategy. It's a technique they call shop warming. And look, this isn't your typical smash and grab job. No, this is a patient, calculated performance designed to convince the store's computers that a thief is actually its best new customer.
We're going to break this whole thing down into 5 parts. Think of it like a 5-act play. We'll start with their secret lingo, then we'll look at how they build a totally fake identity. After that, we'll dive into the warming process itself, see how they manipulate actual people, and finally, we'll check out the criminal toolbox that makes it all happen.
All right, let's jump right in by learning the language they speak. You know, like any underground group, they've got their own jargon. And it's not just about communicating, it's also about distancing themselves from the reality of what they're actually doing. Get this, they don't talk about stealing or committing fraud. Instead, they use this term VBIV. All it means is the act of buying something online with stolen card details. It's such a clinical, detached word for a really damaging crime.
And who are they stealing from? Well, in their world, it's not a person or a victim. It's just the cardholder, or even just KH. This is a classic tactic, right? It dehumanizes the target, turning a real person with a real life into nothing more than a simple 2-letter acronym.
The background is the complete dossier of stolen data they build on that cardholder. And we are not just talking about a credit card number here. Oh no, this is everything they need: social security number, date of birth, address, family details, to literally become that person online.
So that's the lingo. Now, let's see how it all translates into action. This next phase is all about meticulous preparation. Before they even go to the store's website, they're already rehearsing how to play the part of the perfect customer.
Now, this right here, this quote from the lecturer, a guy named Pustoda, this is the absolute core of their entire philosophy. He literally tells them, you are not a carder, you are a client. Think about that. He is instructing them to stop thinking like a thief and start thinking like a valued customer that any business would be thrilled to have.
And this mindset gets put into practice with a pretty detailed 3-step process. First, they do their research, building that background file. Then, they create a believable online persona, right down to a professional-looking email. And finally, they set the stage. They use a search engine like Google to find the store, because to an anti-fraud system, that looks way more trustworthy than someone just magically appearing on the site. Okay, the identity is built, the stage is set, and now the performance begins. This whole shop warming phase has one main audience: the store's automated security systems. The goal is to act so much like a real shopper that the algorithms just give them a green light. And this chart just lays it out perfectly. Automated systems are designed to spot impatient, bot-like behavior. So what do these fraudsters do? The exact opposite. They browse around, they use the compare feature, they read the FAQ. They even sign up for the marketing newsletter. Every single click is meant to generate a good customer data point. I mean, their attention to detail goes right down to how they type. The lecture actually recommends special browser plugins that can fake the natural rhythm of human keystrokes just to avoid another one of those digital red flags. It's wild. But fooling the machines? That's really only half the battle. If their purchase gets flagged for a manual review by a real person, they have to be just as ready to manipulate the customer support team.
And they don't just sit around and wait to get caught. In a really bold move, they're taught to proactively contact customer support before they even buy. They'll ask a fake question about stock or delivery. This does 2 things. It gets them useful intel, and it creates a legitimate-looking conversation history with the store. They're building trust before they even commit the crime.
This table shows exactly how they prepare for those security checks. If support asks for a photo ID, they've got an excuse ready to buy time while a fake one gets made. If the store says they can only ship to the billing address, they'll make up a story about a natural disaster forcing them to a temporary spot. Every potential problem has a pre-planned lie.
So the bottom line is, if a verification call does come, they are absolutely ready. They've got that background file right in front of them like a cheat sheet. It has every single piece of data they could be asked for, right down to personal details about the victim's life they can use to answer those tricky security questions.
Now, a performance this elaborate is almost never a solo act. The lecturer makes it really clear that this level of fraud is supported by an entire underground economy of specialized criminal services.
And just look at this arsenal. It shows you how professional the whole operation is. They don't have to be an expert in everything. They can rent special browsers to hide their digital footprint. They can hire a fluent English speaker, a caller, for just 10 or 20 bucks to make a tough verification call. They can order a fake ID from a rendering service. And they use a whole network of drops to receive the stolen goods. It's basically a plug-and-play criminal enterprise.
So ultimately, what this whole leaked lecture shows us is that modern online fraud has evolved. It's not just about getting a credit card number anymore. It's about method acting. It is a carefully rehearsed 5-act play where the fraudster's goal is to become the perfect customer, and the prize is a successful theft.
And this really leaves us with a pretty provocative thought, right? When criminals become this sophisticated, this organized, and this professional in their methods, how are we supposed to evolve our own personal and corporate security just to keep up?
I write it, I wire it, I ship it when it's tight. Stitching broken systems through the middle of the night. Let the bill fall down, let the pipeline scream. I'll drag it back to stable, brick by scheme. From chaos into order, from bugging to release. From it won't even start to something that brings peace. No spotlight on the hands that keep it all alive. But I'm the pulse behind the screen, and that's how things survive. No, that's how things survive. That's how things survive. Sunrise loads, quiet victory in the code. No parade, no final word, just system steady as promised as heard.